So we're going to take a look at xTooL Studio from a basic beginner perspective because that's what I am. Now, xTooL Studio recently in September of 25 replaced xTooL Creative Space as the primary software to control xTooL lasers. Now, xTooL Creative Space will still work on some of the older ones, but going forward, xTooL Studio is the only software that xTooL will be updating. So this is your home page. And from here, you want to either open a project you already have going, or you click a new project. A new project here on the right, and also this little plus sign up here at the top left. So you can click that, and you'll get into the workspace. And we're going to go over the basic features that will help you get started. And then later on, we'll get into more detail of some of those. So you can see on the top right that I have the F1 Ultra connected. So here is the switch device, connect device. You can click that. It shows you a list of all of the, well, probably not all, but a lot of the newer lasers. And of course you can connect the one you're using. But let's say you have a new laser coming in for Christmas. You're getting maybe the F2 for Christmas. And you want to get a jump on building some of those projects. Well, this option will allow you to select the F2 and get specific settings for the F2, build a project, and just hang on to it, and then come back and you can select the one that you're currently using, change it back, and continue working. So that's a pretty good feature. So here's the mode just below it. And when you click that, you can let the laser know, or let the software know, whether you're processing on a flat surface or you're using the conveyor, the RA2 or RA3 rotary. And then down here we have curved material, which I'll do a video on that later. That's a really nice feature. I use it on some Christmas ornaments, and it allows you to engrave on a round object without using the rotary. So it's a pretty good deal. Here's the material. So right now I have just a slice of wood, a wooden coaster in the laser. So you select material. They have a pine coaster here, but you have you can select wood, metal, plastic, vinyl, depending on your laser. This particular laser is the F1 Ultra, and it does a lot more materials than my older D140, 40 watt. So we will hit this pine wood coaster, and you can see that it'll give you a warning if there's no settings for it, because all of these materials don't have settings. It's a good starting place. It's a good library to work from. But every now and then you'll run across one that has no settings for it at all. Let's try this one. I probably can't get it to pop up now, but down here it'll pop up. I'm gonna click on other and see what we can come up with. It happened before I hit record on the camera. But anyway, you can see that they've got this little, like a no. Let's just click on that one. And you can see the reference here is none. So there's, you'd have to come up with something, maybe watch somebody's video and see if you can come up with some starting settings. And I'll be posting some as I go along and learn more. So we're going to click the coaster, and we're going to click apply. And then right below it, we're going to do a auto measure. I've already got it laying in the bed, and it's going to do an auto measure. I'm just going through this the way I've been able to get it to work and can understand it, and hopefully it'll help you understand. It does an autofocus. My particular laser has to be calibrated before I use it, the F1. So if you're using the F1, you know what I'm talking about. And you have to pull the diode side and the fiber side together. You have a blue light and a red light. You pull those together first once you set a material in there. And then when you do the auto measure, it will finish the fine tuning, focusing automatically. So off to the right of that is a refresh background. And it will show us, there we go. It'll show us what we're working with. So there's a task list here. If you've got a complicated project, it's a task list you can show you. I hadn't used it yet, so I don't want to give you, try to give you some detailed instructions on it because I hadn't used it yet. You can see the preview and the process button once you get your project started. Over here in this white space, you will have the settings that were preset in this pine wood selection once you start your project. So we'll get to the left side in a minute, but I'm going to go ahead and hit the xTooL button. Come out here, and it just comes up hello every time like that. But those settings are here now. So don't fret if you don't see them until you get your project started. They won't show up. You may have also noticed when the text was selected, not only did your settings pop up, but also the top toolbar popped up. So just don't worry if you don't see them. Wait until you select your project and then they'll be there. So left to right, you have the X and Y position, the width and height. You've got a button to lock the aspect ratio. You've got rotation. I'm waiting for these to pop up. You have a range to move forward, move back. And you have alignment tools here. And we have the reflect horizontal or vertically. And then we've got the font tools here. The type and the font itself, and then the size. And then over here, this button just says more. So we have some more text tools you can align and make adjustments to it. You have the weld button. So that's a good thing to remember when if you have a script font, it's not connected. It'll be single lettering in most cases unless you select it and then hit the weld button. And then over here we have an offset. And then we have this one-click setting that's going to give us an idea of what that's going to look like in terms of speed and power, where that falls out. Now there is a material test tool, I understand. I haven't used it yet. But this gives you an idea because the folks at xTooL are, I guess they're back there in the lab doing these things and uploading them and trying to make it easier for us. All right, so, and if we were to process this, if we were putting hello on it and processing, then we would go on down and hit process. We're not going to do that in this video. We're just going to go through how to set it up and then go from there. So with this, if we were typing this or burning this hello into this coaster, it comes out initially set for score. If you wanted engrave, you could go over to engrave and it would fill it in. If you're familiar with LightBurn and other laser controllers, then that's what you're familiar with. And then we have cut. And we don't have to change the color of the layer to make the cut or the engrave or the score. You just switch between the tabs and you're good. Now, if you have multiple items in the workspace and you want to differentiate by layers, you can right click and then you can go down and change the colors. And that's helpful. And there's there's other items in here: group, arrange, select object, delete. It's if you've seen any of my videos, you know I'm much more familiar with LightBurn. So when I first started trying to use this, I was trying to equate it to LightBurn, and I still do to some degree. But everything is not here. You can see this upload to MySpace. It's not the MySpace we grew up with. It is a cloud space where xTooL allows us to have, I think, 50 megabytes of free cloud space. And beyond that, in the future, they're going to offer upgrade. But I can tell you now, I'm not paying for it. I'll save it somewhere else. I'm not doing it. But the one good thing about MySpace is, let's say you've got xTooL Studio on 2 or 3, 4 computers, like I do, and you've got lasers in different parts of the house, then whatever you upload, if you're going to upload something in one shop and then move to the other shop, then you can move it over to the MySpace, and then you can pull it up on the other computer. So that's a good thing. So whatever I put in there, if it exceeds the 50 megabytes, I'll throw it on a thumb drive or something. All right, enough of that. So over on the left, we have this just the main menu, and it's got some of the same things that we saw by right clicking on hello. Here's your settings. Let's look at that real quick. So here's where you would change between millimeters and inches. I did notice it's the only place that will give you the version information of xTooL Studio, which happens to be version 1.1.10. You can also check for updates, and you've got other things in here. If you're familiar at all with your settings, try to equate to this. If you're going to use different softwares, maybe you can equate them and have a good starting point. I haven't started trying to use LightBurn with my new F1 Ultra because it is a Galvo. It is an upcharge for LightBurn. So if anybody's wondering, that's why. So I'm going to go with xTooL Studio, see how it works out. And in some cases, I'm still going to use LightBurn to transition between the two, at least with vectors and some projects, and just convert them over. Just save them as a vector and then pull them in and use them over here. So that's what I'm going to do. All right, so back on the left, we have the save button. This is that cloud button. Don't click it unless you know you got something to upload, because it'll take a blank page and it'll use up part of your 50 megabytes just uploading it. Down here is where you get to it, and whatever you have in there would be right in there. You've got the plus sign for import, so just click it and you can import. Let me find something here. There's a snowflake. If we wanted to put a snowflake on it, it would open up. Now, if it was really big, it would give you an option to click to resize it if you wanted to. And you know there's no harm in resizing a vector because it does not have pixels. And you can stretch it out as big as a barn and it doesn't matter. All right, we'll get rid of that. Text tool we've already used for hello. This doesn't have a name, so I'm just going to call it objects. You've got line, rectangle, circle, polygon, star, and then you have this vector tool, which is pretty cool. I'll do some separate videos on this for sure. And this line draw tool is pretty cool. And when you use hotkeys, you don't have to use like a control for this, like Control L. You just touch L and start drawing lines. So it's pretty nice. The vector tool, you can freehand with it, and sometimes you'll upload vectors. You'll try to create vectors, and it'll be missing something and you just want to fill it in quickly. So this looks like it's going to be pretty handy. Maybe more handy than the line tool in LightBurn. We'll see. So right here we have templates, and there's a lot of them, but you have to be sure, and they're available for use in most cases. Some of them are limited to personal use. Let's just click on this first one and see what we got. The license information is included. So that one has a standard license, whatever that means. So it's not public domain. That's what I look for, is public domain, 100% free. I never want to take a chance on using someone else's design. There we go. Public domain, bottom right here. Creative Commons license. So just check and make sure you don't want to use somebody else's property and get in trouble for it. And you can see up top, this little over arrow is really small, but if you get on it, you can move between the templates that are there, and you can upload. I know when I do a design, sometime it'll ask me if I want to share it, and I haven't, but there may come a time. I don't know. We'll see. You can filter between them as well. So we'll close that out. I want to go back to this text tool real quick and take a look. It didn't click. Okay, I guess I'm gonna have to click on this. Oh, never mind. All right. So I'm getting used to it. If you click the text tool and then you click anywhere, it's going to give you the hello. Point is, I wanted to take a look at the fonts up top. So I do have a separate video that I'm going to do on this, but there's like 1,800 fonts that come with xTooL Studio, which is pretty good. I did see someone online that had a few pop up that were pay. Again, I'm not paying for it. So, but the thing is, if you come across one that you're used to using and it's not there, you can upload it. So I uploaded this one right here, Ballet Harmony. And that upload button it's hard to get these scroll buttons. But anyway, it's right here, upload font. And you can upload a font. And you can go across. If you know the font is a sans or something specific, you can put it in that category. If not, it really doesn't matter, I don't think. I'm going to click on upload fonts and see what happens. No, you got to remember where you put it. So I put mine in display, and there it is. So it's a handy little thing. All right, so we got templates. All right, next is elements. And it's a lot of things you can add to your project, so it's a pretty good thing. As far as I know, none of this you have to pay for. I don't see any additional tags next to it, so you should be able to click and add it to it. Let's just click on something. There we go. So that's a good thing, as long as they don't start charging for it. And here is a busy little place there. It's got applications, and if you've used other laser controllers, you know about grid array, circle array. Here's the material test, barcode generation, nesting, where you can make the best use of your space, batch fill, and that would be used maybe on the conveyor that comes with some of the lasers. The measuring tool, And then they've got some generators down here. You've got a puzzle box generator where, or puzzle, and then you've got a box generator. And I know you've probably went off site to some of the other places and built some boxes. So now it's integrated, and this is one of the things that is not extra. So there will be some videos coming using these things. And this is the AI make. And I can tell you now I won't be using this because you have to use credits. You can see down here at the bottom, 200 credits for, it's telling me I can purchase 200 credits, which I'm not going to do. I've got Chat GPT Plus, so I'll use that, and even the Chat GPT free. But you could go to Gemini, you could go to other AIs and use their free portion and come up with plenty of AI ideas. So I don't recommend coming in here and paying for that. All right, so, and we covered that. That's the MySpace location. You can find whatever you put in there. And down here, you have select or hand. And again, you can use the letter. You don't have to use control for the hotkeys. Like I said, I'm used to LightBurn. And the first thing I tried to do in here was move in and out by pushing down on the scroll wheel. Didn't work. So right now it's select, which allows you to just do that. Select what's in the workspace. You can change it to hand, and it'll give you a hand, and then you can move the workspace around. And like I said, I'll just hit the letter L, and it takes me back. No, it didn't. It gave me a line. All right, I told you, I'm learning. It's letter V. All right, I'm going to hit the letter V this time. There's V, and it's not doing anything. I guess it did. Okay, it took it back to select. Don't hate me, folks. I'm learning. I'm trying. And I'm going to keep learning, and I'm going to keep sharing with you folks. And let's see what we got here. This is Canvas. So if you wanted to make multiple versions of your project so you can compare them. Because sometimes you do. I know I do. And you think, was the last one the best? And I didn't save it. And at least in here, you can make multiple canvases, and you can do that. Now, along the top up here, you can have up to 6 projects going at one time. So I don't know how to duplicate this in the next project other than just copying it and putting it over there. But you could start another project and then go back, do the same settings, and then you could compare the two that way. Now down here on the bottom, we have layers and objects. So if you had multiple things in the workspace going, then this would show you the layers that are involved in it. So if we were actually going to do this, which, let's get rid of one of these so it don't look so bad. If we were actually going to burn this to that coaster, I could hit process and then hit start. And then in my case, on the F1 Ultra, hit the control button on the little touchpad panel that comes with it. But, all right, folks, I hope that was helpful. I know around Christmas, people's going to get lasers. And if it's an xTooL laser, chances are you're going to control it with xTooL Studio because it's free. And you just have to get an account and log in. But I remember getting mine a couple of years ago actually. And I had xTooL Creative Space at the time. And I was lost. And I'm looking on the internet for stuff. And it just wasn't there. Simple things like putting a hello on the screen. I couldn't even do that. So hopefully this will be helpful. If it was, by all means, hit that subscribe button. Share, comment. It's all appreciated. And it helps keep me out here in the shop learning new things. And then I promise I'll share them with you and we can all learn together. So please check back often for new videos. You folks take care, and we'll see y'all next time. Thank you.